Hello and welcome to today's video. So lockdown finished in the UK just 2 days ago. So this is my first day off. It's a Wednesday and I'm going to do a bit of book searching. So the shops have been shut basically since last November. So I am looking to get out and about and see what I can find. The main shop, I checked earlier, they are open today. So I'm going to be able to at least check them out. But hopefully there might be a few other little bookshops around, little stalls, possibly charity shops that will also be open, and we can have a look at a few more on top of that. So we'll have to see how it goes. But until then, my fingers are crossed. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. So that's our target bookshop today, the book cupboard. And this is the scene at about lunchtime on the Barbican in Plymouth. Very, very busy. It's only been open for 3 days. There's lots of people out drinking outside. It's been a really nice day today. And here we are. So this is upstairs. So in the book cupboard, all their paperbacks are upstairs, and I think his little rare first editions are kept downstairs. So there's a few asterisks there, and you'll see first impressions here. There's like books everywhere. So there's lots and lots to go through. And to be honest, you need to spend a whole day in here if you wanted to look through everything in detail. But I'm just sort of scanning the shelves looking for vintage paperbacks, sort of the stuff that I collect. But it's been funny looking at these videos now. I'm seeing stuff that I didn't see when I was in there, even though it was right in front of my eyes. So that's how it goes, I suppose. A big pile of like cartoon books, Andy Cap, things like that. There's some non-fiction stuff. I just thought I'd get a few frames of the inside of the shop, just to give you an idea of what it's like. Definitely worth a visit if you're ever in the Plymouth area, and pretty much now he is the only decent bookshop in town. That's it, as simple as that. He's the last bookshop standing, so he deserves our support, and I was glad to find a few bits and pieces. As you can see, a lot of penguins there. That's just the crime, and opposite it, which we'll see in a minute, you'll see the orange fiction, and all sorts of things turn up. So this was really nice. This is actually one of the 9 penguins that I need to finish the first 1,000. Sadly, it was a reprint, and those 2 Muthans there, sadly I had both of them, so they were just doubles. I didn't bother to pick them up. Picked up a copy of Spartacus. That was really nice. And then this was sort of the western-ish area. He sure did have quite a lot. A huge run of Edge books. There was a load of Louis L'Amour's, but I didn't take the time to go through them. Some of the Zane Greys. This is all like early westerns. The stuff I picked up was early corgis. There's some of the Louis L'Amour's. There's the Edge books, but I'm only missing one for the set now, and it wasn't there. Sadly, a few long arms. J.T. Edson. More long arms there. You get the idea. 70s and 80s, bit of 60s and 50s, but not a lot. A few men's adventure titles creeping in there, but not a lot again. Sort of historical. These are the orange penguins. Big old collection there. I mean, I went through them in quite a bit of detail. I didn't really see anything that I wanted to pick up at £3 a pop, except the 7 Pillars of Wisdom, which is a penguin modern classic, but we'll see that one a little bit later. Usually when I visit secondhand bookshops, their old penguins are £1.50, so I don't mind paying that for ones that I haven't got, but not £3 a pop, unless it was something quite special, and these are all pretty much run of the mill. That was quite nice. It was an early Del Matt back, but falling to bits, literally in pieces, but it was number 22, so I left it behind. Some Agatha Christie's. Hotter Yellow Jackets there, John Creasy's, and some Arrow Dennis Wheatley's. Once again, I don't mind those, but I'm not actively looking for them. But nice to see them all the same. Nice little run of Hodder Yellow Jackets. This is in the horror, and opposite it is the science fiction paperback. Because he's got loads in there. I mean, loads. So not a lot of early stuff, but more contemporary, sort of 90s, 2000s, 2010s, that sort of stuff. There's plenty of that there to get your teeth stuck into. Sort of the back end of the shop now. This is more just general. A few hardbacks, a few non-fiction departments. There we are, Unexplained, and some kids stuff there as well. Had a few children's annuals, but it's not something he does a lot of. So there's nothing there that I really fancied. I didn't see a single Doctor Who thing in the entire shop, so whether he's eBayed those, I don't know. So coming out the shop, we're just walking along Southside Street now. There used to be a bookshop right there, but it's long gone now. As I say, it was quite busy. We're in the Easter holidays at the moment. Came across this, which was the St. Luke's charity shop. This was their Shabby Chic. So it's sort of, what they would consider collectibles. Inside they did have a few little bookcases of books and a few interesting bits and bobs, non-book related. But what I found was very, very expensive. Nothing in the book department at all. This is probably the best thing I saw, which was a Bonanza board game. 18 quid. I thought that was a bit pricey for what is a relatively common board game, and it was all taped up. The Battle of Little Bighorn was quite nice, but once again they've tied these things up. Who knows if they're complete or not? You just wouldn't take the chance. Then Parade Antiques just round the corner. This always had a very big bookshop in Cornerstone Books. Now I knew the owner had gone, and sadly the person who took it over has given up. So the Cornerstone Books is no longer. Upstairs though, they've got a few like mini dealers with a few books and modern bits and pieces, some action figures and modern electricals, collectibles, that sort of thing. But I was sort of running out of time by this point, so I just zipped in, had a quick chat with the chap in there and said goodbye. But not a great deal for the book collector. Well, there you go. It wasn't quite as good as I was hoping, but it still wasn't too bad. I got a handful of books. The Gladys Mitchell was a bit of a disappointment because when I went to pay for it, the shop owner said, "Oh yeah, that's 30 quid, that one." I said, "Well, it's not a first." He said, "It is." He said, "It's not." And it wasn't. It was a reprint, as I predicted. The first is probably a couple of £100, but 30 quid for a reprint now, that's a bit steep for me. Maybe a tenner, but the rest of them were 3 quid each, which is exactly what I would have expected. Went up to Cornerstone Books there. Once again, a bit of a disappointment. The shop owner, the chap I'd known for many years, I knew had retired, but he passed it on to someone else. And they also have sort of given up the ghost, and they're not going to be coming back. So that just leaves the one bookshop and a spattering of charity shops left on the whole of the Barbican, which is a disappointment. However, there are lots of places within the county where I live, which is Devon, and I'm going to spread my wings a bit, and I'll do another one of these very soon. Okay then, so I thought we'd have a very quick look through what I picked up today. Sadly, just from the one bookshop, but there you go. That's the sign of the times, really, isn't it? That that was just the only place that had any books that were open for sale, really. So this is really nice. It's the movie tie-in to Spartacus. Fantastic. Never seen this one before. Got a few spine creases, but wowee. And what a great cast that is, isn't it? So that's a great one. And this was a first Panther edition from 1959. So that's cool. This was a nice Corgi Western. Very nice condition. This one, T397, from the author of Shane. This is a Corgi edition again, 1957, a first printing. Not the greatest cover, but worth it okay. Another great Western. I did well there last time with some Westerns, actually. So The Sky Was Their Roof. Robin Kelly. Bit of a thicker one, this. This is a Corgi Giant, G203. Got some, this is 4 centuries. This is actually fiction, non-fiction rather. First printing from 1956. It's a pretty early Corgi one. Definitely one I haven't actually got. So that's pretty cool. Let's put these spine on. Bronco Apache, the blood-stained legend of the Maasai. Once again, really, really nice jacket on that one. First print in 1962. It's a little bit later, this one. And the last of the Corgi Westerns. Lauren Payne, the story of Savage War of Revenge, The Long Years. Sort of appealed to me, sort of dynamic cover. And once again, it's pretty early, 1956. So quite an early one there. Then we got One Odd Foursquare, which I was able, because I had my phone with me, I was able to check to see if this is one I've got. The Sojourner. Definitely one I haven't got. It's pretty early as well. Foursquare 117. It's that really sort of oversized format. Quite scarce these in any printing now, but this is the first from 1959. I was particularly pleased to get this one. Now this is a very early Penguin Modern Classic. It was 10 and 6, so 10 shillings and sixpence. I've got the original hardback of this one, and maybe that would warrant a video on its own. Perhaps I could do it with this first Penguin Modern Classics edition. So it's Penguin 1696. It's a very early one, even in the B format for Penguin, in their main list, and it's an early Penguin Modern Classic. And this particular one, I had to check, was a first print from 1962, so the first Penguin printing. I do have the first Jonathan Cape printing in my normal book collection from 1935. And I say it's a fascinating and pretty scarce book, and I don't think I've ever seen the first Penguin edition of it ever before. So the fact that I've paid £3 for that is really heavy. So when it was be packaged up, it would be pretty close to 2 kilos. So it would cost whoever sold it, if they sold it online, £3.10 to send. So picking this one up, the cheapest you're going to be able to find this online for that size book is going to be £6-7. So to find it for £3 with no postage, that's the benefit of a bookshop right there. And then this last one, now I don't really know the value of this, but I think it's quite scarce. It's early Carter Dixon, The Red Widow Murders. I think this predates the hardback first edition. So it's copyrighted in 1935, and it's Jonathan Press Mystery number J11. And it's a US company, that. And I have a funny feeling this is probably quite a nice one, that. Probably quite a nice little addition. In fact, the bookseller sort of gave me a second look when he picked it up. But I don't know. It's certainly a sort of a pulpy crime, sort of digest, and from the States you don't see many of those over here. The only disappointment really was that Gladys Mitchell, which the guy wanted 30 quid for, but what can you do? I wasn't going to pay that for the reprint one, but it is one of the 9 that I need in first Penguin edition. But for three quid I would have bought it just as a filler, but 30, I think he's a little way off there. Maybe 10 to 15 would have been more like it. But that, sadly, was all I was able to get today. Now, just as it started raining as I was leaving, I did think about going downtown to do the sort of the charity shops in town. But I thought, no, we'll save that for another day. And I have got a few other shops I can check out in the Devon sort of area where I live for future videos. So if you did enjoy this, I know there wasn't a lot in the end to look at, but if you enjoyed those little glimpses around the bookshops, do leave a comment below, and I'll do some more.